I went thrifting this week and it got me thinking, like, what are the things that now I can't go thrifting without? I've been doing this a long time and I made the mistake one too many times of walking away from something because, I didn't know if it would fit in the certain space I wanted. I didn't know if the color would match exactly, or, I wasn't quite sure it was exactly what I wanted. I was unprepared. And so I came up with what I would consider like my survival kit when it comes to thrifting. If you are an avid vintage or antique shopper, you know that coming across some of these items on your wish list, it's rare. I mean, these items already, mind you, have survived 50, 60, 70 years, which is amazing, first of all, because I can guarantee you a lot of the decor that's being made these days is not going to be around 70 years from now. The first thing I would say is all those little spots you're looking for something in your house. You need to have your thrift wish list together. You need to have measurements of like where these items would fit, especially if it's furniture, pictures of patterns and colors that you're looking to match. So I would suggest getting either a little notebook. I like to keep one of these with me at all times anyways, just to jot down ideas and stuff. But also just the notes app in your phone is a good place to keep everything together and organized. Having stuff like this there means you'll never have to worry about walking away from an amazing piece again because you're prepared. Another thing I would suggest putting in your notes is if you collect something, keep a list running of what you already have. So you're not buying doubles and triples of things, unless you want that. I'm never one to tell you to stop buying stuff or collecting things. But like one small example we have is we started collecting DVDs. I'm trying to get away from, all the streaming apps and having like 5 or 6 at once. So we'll usually just have like one going, but then we have a DVD collection. So I keep an alphabetical list in my phone and a note that we share so we can each see what we already have. There are also certain tools that I would suggest carrying with you at all times if you are going looking for vintage or antique pieces. And number one is probably a tape measure, because how are you going to know if something's going to fit if you can't measure it? And you cannot depend on the store to have a tape measure. This is helpful if you're looking for large pieces of furniture or a rug and you need to know measurements, but that's a little bulky to have at all times. I never know when I'm going to stop in a thrift store, so I had to get a little one. So I just have this little tape measure. If you shop for certain materials like uranium glass or silver, bronze, you need a way to identify that while you're there at the store. That way you don't get something home and realize you've made a mistake. Now, I don't have a black light here to show you, but they do make mini black lights, so that way you could go around looking for uranium glass. But then with the metals, silver, bronze, copper, you can carry a little magnet around with you. This is just a little fridge magnet, and magnets don't stick to silver, bronze. Now, occasionally they might stick to something plated depending on what the other metals are. But if this isn't sticking to it, that's real bronze, that's real silver. A light is helpful to carry with you. Of course, you always have one with you on your phone. If you're trying to look for glassware, you can kind of illuminate it from the bottom so you could see if there's any cracks. If you're inspecting, a fabric or something and you want to see if there's any like rips or snags. Other thing, if you want a closer look, is you can get, sorry, mine has chocolate on it, but I have a little magnifying glass. So that way, if I need to read like, a writing or the marking on something, it can be helpful if something is priced kind of high and you see a certain marking, you can look it up and understand why it's priced that way. Not all vintage or antique shopping is done in like a clean, nice, beautiful antique store. Sometimes you might be digging around in some places, especially if you've ever been to like the bins or something. I would suggest having gloves with you, maybe a mask. You never know. So I'm just throwing that out there. That would be something good to have in a kit and at least like keep in your car. Now, once you get everything purchased and you're out to your car trying to pack all of this to go home, a lot of places will not give you bags, packing material. You can expect places to have an endless supply of bubble wrap and intricately pack every single item. So I suggest keeping boxes. Maybe you might have some like reusable totes, and keeping stuff like this that comes in the mail. So I just folded in the sides of this box. I could set this in my trunk, and it kind of gives me, if I have, several of these going across the trunk, it keeps things from bumping into each other. I can keep, glassware in one, and I can keep, pictures in another. I will keep this one came with a bunch of packing paper. So I will keep all the packing paper in this and just stick this in my trunk. So I have something to kind of secure any delicate items that I might need to. For payment, you need to come prepared too, because again, depending on where you're shopping, it's going to be better to have cash. I would keep that on hand at all times. I think that's better if you're doing, trying to bundle deal something or negotiate with someone. That can always be more of an incentive, especially they're paying credit card fees a lot of times. So it can be a little more of an incentive for them to deal with you. I keep a little coin purse with me, just filled with all different coins and a little bit of cash at all times. This bag is this is what I can keep, like some of the tools and things in that might just stay in my car, packing materials. But I actually do more of like a little fanny pack because I like to be hands free. Even if there's carts and you can kind of gather your things up in a basket or something, like I'm one of those people that is just like, you're kind of scanning a room, you're looking for something, and it's just squirrel. And I will just shoot off across the room, walk away from the cart, the basket, whatever it is. So I need to have my purse on me at all times because of that. You also need your hands free to carry stuff. Possibly one of the most important things, because it will keep your attitude positive, is snacks and drinks. I will take a cooler with me if it's in the warmer months. I don't necessarily worry about it if it's in the winter like right now. But I will always take water. I like to bring, like maybe drink mixes, electrolytes, something with a little caffeine in it. Back to cleanliness, I like to have snacks that are like not hands-free, but to where your hands don't have to touch the food. Like I'm not gonna bring a bag of chips as my snack because then I have to reach in and touch that with my hand. Even if I've used the hand sanitizer, it just grosses me out. So I will do, like a protein bar where you can hold it by the wrapper still while you eat it. Even, a banana. You can still hold it by the peel while you're eating it. A sandwich that has, you've wrapped in like paper or something. Just basically, I don't want my hands touching any food. Until I can get home and properly wash my hands, I'm just, ugh. Is there anything else that you like to take with you when you go thrifting? You feel like, you can't have a good thrift trip if you don't have this with you, or if you were to go on like a thrift road trip, you would not leave this behind. Thank you for watching. I hope this helps, and may you never have to walk away from a thrifting treasure ever again because you were unprepared.